So I'll get to it before Bob does, but Jerry West looking down, a little touch from him in a moment like this.
Yeah, I think just an incredible day on a day where we're, getting to celebrate his legacy, not only for West Virginia basketball, but for the sport itself, and to have so many of his family and loved ones here to be a part of this. I think you can only assume that he had a little helping hand in this one tonight.
Darren, what's a win like this do for your program in year one?
Yeah, I think it's it's obviously a big win for us and our program. I think the world of Iowa State, incredibly well coached, a great team. Like I said before the game, I think they're one of the best teams in the country and have a chance to play on that last day. So, I just thought overall I was really proud of our guys is their fight tonight. On a night where both teams couldn't get a lot going offensively, I thought both teams battled extremely hard, and we were obviously incredibly pleased that we were able to come out, make enough plays at the end there to come away with a big win.
How do you keep a team that's averaging 85 points, 27 points below their average, lowest point total of the season?
I thought our guys really competed defensively. I thought they were very physical on the ball, trying to get through screens, trying not to give them a lot of space to operate because, they're incredibly talented. They can, hit you in transition at any moment, with live ball turnovers. I thought that might have been maybe the big reason, we were able to slow them down is we didn't turn it over a lot, and that's where they're elite. When they get live ball turnovers and they're going north and south, they get to the rim in a hurry, and we were able to limit that for the most part tonight to keep them from doing that, so that was a big part of it.
Was there a message for the players as far as Curtis Jones goes, or did Iowa State just have too many weapons to focus maybe on?
Curtis is hard because he's such a talented player. I thought we did a good job of not giving him a lot of open threes. And to be fair, the one mistake we made, he hit it, and I think that says a lot about him. We put a lot of focus on him not getting a lot of space. Now he still got 18. That's how good he is. But he got into the rim or the paint area, but a lot of his were pull-ups, and there was some things we were willing to live with, like if they are getting those instead of layups and open threes, that was a better alternative for us.
Were you able to get out of the court storm there? What was that like at the end?
Yeah, I think we were able to get out of it, and I know TJ,
just the excitement level, being in and all that.
Yeah, excited for our fan base. They had a hand in this one tonight, as we said. There's some very tough places to play in the Big 12. We want our place to certainly be one of them, and I felt like it was tonight. And the crowd, did their part. Like I said, we had to do our part, but I thought the crowd certainly was very engaged and helped us down the stretch.
Early on in the game, they kind of rallied back after you had the early lead, and they were almost 40% from the field and all of that. Was there anything that changed for you, or did you draw anything up differently to kind of calm that down? They obviously, as he was talking about, calmed down in shooting and kind of just collapsed offensively. After that, I
thought Amani Hansberry on the offensive end gave us just a little bit of a spark there. He hit a couple of threes. We got off to the 6-0 lead, and then there wasn't a lot for a long time. But Amani got us back into that game, gave us a little energy back into our defense, I think, from hitting a couple of threes. And, we were able to create some turnovers tonight. I thought the guys did a really good job of being physical but not getting too stretched out where all of a sudden those driving lanes were everywhere. So we were able to still kind of get a second defender, getting what we call rakes on some of those dribble drives and be able to dig some balls out and get it and go the other way.
Coach, is there any way to put into words the last 98 seconds what Javon accomplished in that last minute and a half?
No, he's been just incredible all year. I think he's the best guard in the country right now. He's playing and for what we're asking him to do, and the way he put that team, on his back there late. He made some just big time plays, and I don't think people can even appreciate like what when he's getting that much focus and he's still be able to kind of get free and make those type of plays, whether it's a drive to the rim, a kick out three, him hitting a three. I mean, he's something special, and I hope people really enjoy, the time they get to watch him here.
Could you have imagined the day you reported here and you got these 12, 14 guys, 15 guys, however many it was, all coming together from every which where, that you'd have beaten the number 2, 3, 10, and 24 team in the country in half a season?
I mean, like we talked about with our team from day one, like don't limit yourself on anything. Like we're going to come, we're going to compete, these are the things we feel like we need to be good at to win, and let's go try and do that. And I've never been a guy that's like, hey, we need to win this many games to be successful. It's more about, how can we maximize this group, and then if you can do that, then your goal is that those wins follow. But I think our guys are giving us everything they got. They don't play perfect every night. I don't ask them to do that, but just leave it out there, and they've done a great job of that. So far this season.
Coach, with Javon, did you ask anything more of him in this second half, or did he just do it on his own?
He just did it. No, like a lot of great players, and it's really fun when you're the coach of one of those. You can tell when they're in that zone, and you could see it in his eyes. He wanted to take that game over. He even had another three, I thought, fairly late, with like 3 minutes to go, in and out. But I've seen Javon in practice and in games. Like when he gets in a zone, he's really, really good.
You mentioned the breaks early in the season. A lot of double downs, a lot of steals from that. Went away a little bit in some games, back kind of with a vengeance tonight. Because of the way they run offense, different things you see, or is it just switching up what you want to emphasize defensively?
I thought it was a combination of both. I mean, certain teams present different problems all the time. Houston the other night, they had, 40-some% three-point shooters. So you're in a tough spot of like, do we sit in there and help, or do we get out to those three-point shooters? Tonight was a little bit different. They're so good at getting in the paint that we wanted to clog that up as much as we could, which has allowed us to kind of get that second defender to a ball. And they had an injury too to one of their better shooters. So from a spacing standpoint, they're learning how to play without him too in a short period of time. So this is only their second game without him. But again, overall, I think it was just. I thought our guys were super aggressive, and when they got the opportunity, they really stuck their nose in there to go get the ball.
Darian, what you just described, did that lead to them only having 4 assists?
I think some of it turned into some one-on-one when, and kind of what they do to people too. When you can't move the ball side to side freely, somebody's got to go make a play. And I thought we were able to put them in some spots where they had to play in a lot of tight ball screens, and there weren't a lot of avenues to get kickouts. And they certainly made their fair share. But overall, I think our defense took away some of that stuff from them.
Given how Amani has shot this year, why do you think he still gets like a handful of open looks every game? Is it just when he's in the ball screen with Javon gets all the attention?
Well, I mean, it's hard. Like your options are to switch your big onto Javon, or try to give a little help to Javon and recover back to Amani. And that's why we've talked all year. Amani got hurt right before Christmas, and it was pretty significant deal. He's been very limited in practice and stuff. He's been trying to give us what he could as he was coming along, but he hasn't been able to be healthy and run and jump and shoot the way he wanted to. But I felt like the last week you could see a little more bounce in his step, and now he's back to kind of where he was at the Bahamas, and playing at a high level. And what he does for our offense is really spaces that thing and puts people in some tough spots. And then even defensively tonight, I thought you could tell he's got a little bounce back. He went and grabbed those hard two-handed rebounds again, like you saw maybe early in the year in the Bahamas in a couple of those big games.
Have you worked very hard on Andre going from one end of the court to the other, and making a shot and a free throw?
I'm glad he didn't hear me, because I was telling him to stop. But a great play by him, gets the steal. Coast to coast, just like we drew it up for the end one.
I talked to Javon about this, and obviously winning's the most important thing, but somebody says Javon Small's Big 12 Player of the Year, what would your response be to that?
Say that one more time.
If somebody called Small Big 12 Player of the Year, what would your response be to that?
They're right. Yeah. I mean, he's on my team, so that's our guy, and I think I wouldn't trade him for anybody. I think he's an elite level competitor, elite level leader, and what I love about him, he doesn't care about winning that award. He wants to win, and that's all he talks about. That's all he talks about with his teammates is being better in the areas that we need to win. He's never coming to a timeout asking for the ball, not one time.
You were talking yesterday about, you just can't take away everything from that team. They got the rebounding edge tonight, points in the paint, shot 44%, but they didn't make any threes. Was that maybe kind of the thinking, hey, as long as they're not making threes, we can kind of stick to our game plan?
I mean, to start, yeah, and then with they're playing two bigs, which was going to be a tough matchup. I know, that especially the second half, they really went to him. In some post-up situations with Jefferson, and put you in tough spots. Like we got either a guard or Toby, giving up a lot of size and weight to try to keep him out of there. So, but I thought our game plan was to, hey, if he gets it in there, to try to crowd him enough, but don't give up open threes. I thought the guys did a good job of mixing it up and keeping him off balance. Obviously, he got a couple. Where he backed us down as a scorer because he's. But overall, I think it was something we were willing to live with.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you all.